Scott Snyder, by far one of my favourite Batman writers of all time. Batman Volume 3, Death of the Family. So in Batman Death of the Family, originally we see all these crimes being recreated, and they know it's by the Joker because it's crimes that Joker's done in the past. And Commissioner Gordon and Batman are trying to figure out where Joker is because he hasn't been seen in Gotham City for over a year. The last time we've seen him is when he cut off his face. So now that Joker's back in town, it's about Batman, Commissioner Gordon and the entire Bat family trying their absolute hardest to take him down. And in this comic, Joker is an absolute force to be reckoned with. So kicking off, I really enjoyed this book. I've been loving this new 52 run of Batman. I've been going back and rereading it, and if you want to see my reviews for the first 2 volumes, I have written reviews on my Instagram page. I'll leave the link to that in the description. Scott Snyder does such a great job at writing Batman and Bruce Wayne, and he makes Batman and Bruce Wayne like this really likeable character, but also making it the dark and broody Dark Knight that we know and love. And the way he handles the Joker in this comic is spectacular in my opinion. In this comic, he's almost like a kind of horror character. He's such a terrifying villain in this comic, and the fact that like he's basically sliced off his face and he's wearing his own face as a mask above like his severed skin, I'd call it, is just such a terrifying thing. And the way the artwork looks in it, you actually just see how creepy it can look, and just when you see in the shadow and his face peering out the shadow and you see the skin hanging down, it is gruesome and grotesque, but the attention to detail by Greg Capullo is honestly unreal. Like, if you just look at the way he's drawn, look at the detail, just the kind of like slices in the skin, the way his hair is, and the fact that it's like a brutally attached mask to his face, it's honestly so terrifying, and it just kind of goes to show how scary of a villain Joker can be. And personally, I could really see them making a horror movie about the Joker if they ever wanted to go that route. Not only that, but he pushes Batman to his absolute limit. There's a scene where they go to the vat of chemicals where Joker was first created, and the tension in that scene is just unreal, and Joker's about to do something. Batman's trying his hardest to stop him, and the best thing Batman can do is he can't go up and punch him, he has to speak to him. And the dialogue between the two of them in this comic it's like just really well written, and it just kind of shows why these two are polar opposites, but at the same time why without Batman you don't have Joker, and without Joker you don't have Batman, because the two of them make each other insane, and Joker knows that and he thrives on it. Also, just look at that front cover. It's one of my favourite Batman front covers I've actually ever seen, next to the Long Halloween cover. We get a whole lot of other villains in this book, like Riddler, Two-Face, Penguin, and how they're playing into Joker's plan. It's just amazing, and you can tell that all 3 of them, even though the 3 of them are like big forces in Gotham, like supervillain wise, they're all terrified of Joker because none of them know what he's going to do. He's such an unpredictable villain in this book, and this comic really does get across the true essence of the Joker, who he is and why he does what he does, because he's just insane. And in this comic, there are times where it actually made me feel a little ill. Like, I'm reading it and I'm like, oh Jesus, like he's brutal and he just doesn't hold back, and it is great. The artwork in the book as well by Greg Capullo is just so well drawn. Like I said, the use of shadows he uses, it doesn't just do it for Joker, it does it for Batman as well. The use of shadow and just everything, the colours, it's all just, it's vibrant but dark at the same time. Like, it pops off the page amazingly, but it has this like dark and gritty tone. It just fits so well with the actual story, and there's a clear differentiation from like nighttime Gotham and daytime Gotham, and I love that because Bruce Wayne and Batman are completely different, and that is one thing the art and the storyteller done well, is they blended the storytelling and the art to just fit perfectly and mesh well and just look perfect, while also keeping the same tone that's on the page. That was a bit of a mouthful, but yeah, that gets across the point. There's a great section in this book as well taking place in Arkham Asylum, and it actually felt like a throwback to the Arkham Asylum game, and I loved it. And it was just Batman going through the asylum, having to take on different villains, all these different thugs, different criminals, and he's just wiping the floor with them one by one. But what he doesn't realise is Joker's got something else cooking, and it's a distraction. And it's great because the one person that knows how to mess with Batman and how to actually, the only one who actually scares Batman is Joker. And this gets across in the book because Batman, he knows about other villains doing, he knows everything else they're all doing, but he just never knows what the Joker's doing, and Joker is always 10 steps ahead of them, and that's a really good thing in this comic. The full Bat family are in the book as well, and it's great seeing them interact, and there's a lot of distrust between them now because Joker's done something, and they all just don't know if they can trust Batman, they don't know if they can trust each other, and it kind of puts them against each other. Like, Joker is literally tearing the Bat family apart from the inside, and that's what I love, because he's got everyone against each other. He's got them all against Batman, he's got Batman against them, such a great dynamic, and just the way Joker just really messes with Batman, the Bat family, and Alfred as well. It's just unreal, and I just think it's such a great Joker story. It's one of the best Joker stories I've read in my opinion. When we get to the climax of the book, Joker's just basically, I don't want to say it is because if you haven't read it as a spoiler, but he's brought the Bat family in his hands, and he is in complete power of the situation, and that's what I love. It's just him, and he knows that no one can topple him now, and he's on top, and Batman is at his mercy essentially, and that's what I love. He never uses any hand-to-hand combat. It's just what he does, what his plan is, and how he knows to take on Batman is just so well done in this comic. And what I will say is like, this version of Joker, I would love to see it adapted to a screen, because he is one of the most terrifying versions of Joker I've seen. After rereading this comic, it is definitely in my top 10 Batman comics of all time. I think I actually prefer it to the City of Villains, Court of Villains arc, even though I love that as well. But this new 52 Batman run is honestly spectacular so far, and I would highly recommend everybody go and check it out. And like I said, the first two reviews for the first two volumes are written reviews on my Instagram page, and I will leave the link in my bio. In the description, sorry, I'm too used to saying link in my bio when I post YouTube videos to Instagram. If I was to think of any negatives for the book, it's really hard for me, because I genuinely couldn't put the book down when I was reading it. I read it in like an hour, and it was one of the best hours of my life, to be honest. I don't know what that says about me, but yeah. But there's like a scene kind of towards the end where Batman kind of says something to Joker, and I just didn't expect Joker to act the way he did, and I just wasn't the biggest fan of that. I was a bit like, oh, doesn't kind of takes away, but it wasn't too bad, but I was a bit like, oh, it didn't really fit. But apart from that, like the story is unreal, the artwork is unreal, and it is an amazing story. And the New 52, from what I've reread so far, I am personally loving. So thanks a lot for watching the video, guys. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit that subscribe button. I do a lot of nerdy content. I do top 10 lists, I do comic recommendations, reviews, all that good stuff. I do a lot of Star Wars content as well. So if that's what you're into, be sure to hit that subscribe button. And also, if you're into like written reviews, I have an Instagram page where I do a lot of written reviews on that as well. I'll leave the link to it in the description, and it's just gonna be 500 reviews that are just gonna fit on Instagram. So if you're into that kind of thing, be sure to go and check out my Instagram as well. And also, I do like every few days I do like wee mini videos on TikTok as well, just like kind of rough thoughts and stuff. So if you're that kind of stuff, I'll leave that in the description as well. Thanks a lot for watching, guys, and I hope to see you in the next video. And if you haven't yet already, be sure to check out my other videos and hit that subscribe button. See you later.